Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Ack and welcome to my channel. So this is a video that I have been wanting to make for quite some time, but I never got the chance to do it because I am the master of procrastination. Okay, but seriously though, I think it's about time that I make this video. I've seen a lot of people saying that this matchup right here, Yukiko against Yukari, is such a hard matchup for Yukiko. It's one of Yukiko's worst matchup in this game. It's impossible for Yukiko to win up against her. Guys, it's not that impossible. Trust me. I'm here to explain it to you guys why it is not impossible. If you want an impossible matchup for Yukiko is Shabras. That is like, you will never win against her. And if you do win against her, it's luck. Trust me. And if you guys see me win a round or win a match against a Shabras player, it's all luck. Trust me, it's all luck. But alright, let's get into the main part of this video and explaining you guys the tips on how to go up against Yukari. So you're starting a round, right? You have no bars, etc. So the main goal that you want to do when you go up against a Yukari main is try to get your fire level to 3. Once you get to your fire level to 3, you'll be able to put up more of a fight against Yukari. The problem is is how to get your fire level to 3. And I'm going to show you right now. So let's say hypothetically you were able to get a hit on Yukari and be able to do a combo. No matter what the combo you do, you always will gain 1 bar. So let me give you an example, like this combo for example. This bitch is blocking. Oh my god. So after you do that, you could do more of the flame dance, but after you finish your combo, immediately use your bar and then do 2-1-4 and there you got your fire level to 3. I do not suggest you guys to try to get your fire level high against Yukari, because Yukari zoning is something you don't want to mess with, and if she keeps hitting you while you're increasing your fire level, you're losing your persona cards, and that's something that you don't want to do when you go up against Yukari. So don't increase your fire level that much when you facing against Yukari. Really, getting your fire level to 3 is enough. Now let's say hypothetically you can't catch up to Yukari and you're having a hard time. You can increase your fire level while she is trying to zone you. So say like she keeps doing this, for example. There is a way on how you can deal with that, and I'll show you guys real quick. See that? As soon as she jumps up, that's when you want to quickly do it, but be careful because Yukari mains can just do something like this. Like that, for example. So really, you really have to take a guess on what your opponent is going to do. And also keep in mind, if your Yukari player do that move right here, as soon as you're done blocking it, you can immediately go into increase your fire level. So let me show you guys real quick. To increase your fire level, because Yukari, it takes her a little bit longer to recover from when she does 2d6a, but when she does like the slow version, she does recover a bit faster, but it takes her a while to get her arrows out. But if you ever see Yukari main just throw out 2d6a and you block it, go ahead and increase the fire level after that. Also, you want to be careful not to increase her fire level when she does 5B, because that arrow comes out a lot faster in this patch and she can easily interrupt you by doing that. So a good Yukari play would just, like, you know, try to throw it out as much as possible just so they can stop you from increasing your fire level, but they can't do that forever because one, as you can see, you can crouch over it. And if you have a higher health lead than Yukari, she's basically wasting her time constantly trying to hit you with that. So she'll try to mix it up by just doing either this to Magaru, or this to 236A, or let me make a block. Or she'll charge it and then do 236A, or charge again to Magurula, or Maguru, I should say. And like I said, if you see Yukari do this, immediately increase your fire level.
Jeez, stop staring.
And you will see Yukari do this to Magurula, you have a short window opportunity to increase your fire level fast, and before she throws her arrow at you, arrow at the Magaru, and then the arrow go right at you, you have a small window of opportunity to be able to increase your fire level. So let me show you guys real quick. See, you have a small window of opportunity to be able to increase your fire level after she do that. Another tip that I have for you guys is to try not to throw this persona attack too much, because Yukari can easily destroy your persona by just doing this string right here. So you don't want to throw out her persona too much. Really, it's the same way how you do it, Yukiko. You really just want to rely mostly on your fans and your Phoenix Flame Swirl, really. You really just want to rely on those to be those two, to be honest. But the only scenario where you can rely on throwing this persona out is I say you hit her with her Phoenix Flame Swirl. You then want to throw the persona out and try to get closer to her, and then continue with your pressure. And while we're on this topic, let's discuss about Yukiko's rushdown capabilities. You definitely want to practice on utilizing Yukiko's block strings and making your opponent guess on what you're going to do. So, you know, remember the guide I showed you guys? That I released somewhere around April or something like that. I forgot when I released it. But remember when I was showing you guys her block strings like this? Or this is definitely going to help you out on pressuring Yukari a lot. And remember, when you do her block strings, you have to make your opponent guess whether you're going to grab or bait her with your jump B or bait her with your jump C and then do your combo. This is the kind of things that should be going through your head when you go up against, you know, anyone really, not just Yukari, but just anyone. If instead you're not going to push your opponent away and you're just going to go into a rush down, you need to think. After you do, you know, simple string like 5AA to 4B to 4D, you're going to get closer to her, right? And then you got to play with your mind. Are you going to continue with your pressure? Or are you going to go to a grab? Or do you think your opponent's going to DP? Or you think your opponent's going to grab you and you can punish it with your doing jump B, or punish it with your jump C? These are things that you need to be playing in your head and trying to guess on what your opponent is going to do. I know the unfortunate part when you grab your opponent as Yukiko around like mid-screen, it pushes your opponent farther away from you. But there is a way on utilizing it. You can throw 236 where else I see 2 to 6C immediately and let it go, like this for example, to make your opponent get like second guess himself. I think like Yukari means we usually just like throw out jump B F, not jump B, 5B, or do 2 to 6A, or you know, just try to retaliate against you. So you want to make them second guess on it and just do 2 to 6A, 2 to 6A, 2 to 6B, or you can do something like this. Hold it in and then if you let it go at the right time, you'll be able to throw 3D, and that'll get your opponent behind them, which is something you want to do when you go up against anyone, is to try to make this attack go behind them, and they can do your pressure from there on. Typically, someone who is experienced at facing Yukiko, they will try to dash through it to avoid your 5C, excuse me, your 5C. So like, let me show you guys real quick. See, they could just dash through it. There is a way how to do with it. You could just do 4D and you'll be able to get a counter hit from that. So let me show you guys real quick. Something like that. I know it's not the combo, but you could do you can do that to punish them from dashing, or you could just do 2 to 6 D, which I'll show you guys real quick. Yeah, like that for example. You could do 2 to 6 D to punish them for dashing. You could get a combo from that too. Let me show you guys like old combo we could do. You could do something like that, or if you have a bar, you could do something like this. You can do something like that, for example. Pretty hard to do, so let me give you guys a little bit of an easier combo to do. You could do something like that. Doesn't do as much damage as the other combo, but you're still able to do a good amount of damage with that, so it doesn't really matter which one you do. Now the next tip I want to show you guys on is knowing when to use her Phoenix Swirl. That's a very important one, because this is an important tool for Yukiko that will help counter Yukari. So here is one tip. Don't use your Phoenix Swirl when you see Yukari mains throw either 5B or her jump beam. This, like I said, her arrows, this arrow comes out much faster. It is much faster than Yukiko's Phoenix Swirl, so you don't want to throw that out, because not only are you going to take damage for that, but you're going to lose your persona cards as well. So don't do that when you see Yukari main keep throwing out her jump beam. When you see Yukari main doing 2 3 6A, however, her Phoenix Swirl comes out much faster than Yukari's 2 3 6A. So if you're faster enough, you'll be able to punish her for doing that. So you see Yukari main do like her Magaru. If you're fast enough, you'll be able to punish her by using your 214A or Phoenix Swirl as well by doing that. So let's say if she does charge up 5B into Magura. If you're fast enough, you'll be able to punish her, because it takes her a little bit while to like go and shoot her arrow up into Magura, into her Magura. So if you're fast enough, you'll be able to punish her. And let's say if she does Magura up in the air, most Yukari mains will tend to just either do that or try to get closer and do like like a forward and then back, and then do a charge up B, charge up jump B, like this for example. Like that for example. If you're fast enough, you'll be able to punish her by doing that as well. So let me show you guys an example real quick. So as you can see, you could interrupt Yukari when she tries to shoot her arrows, and when you do, you want to that would be your opportunity to be able to, as soon as you throw your Phoenix Flame Swirl, you want to throw this persona out and try to get closer to Yukari and do your rush down. Because keep in mind, you know, one of the main weaknesses for Yukari is her defense abilities, just like Yukiko, except their normals are different. Yukiko's normals has a big hitbox, but it's slow. Mostly her 5A. Her 5A has a big hitbox, but it comes out very slow. And her 2A, it comes out faster, but it's small. And her you know, her 5B and her 4B and her 5B, it comes out slower, so it's not a good tool to use. It comes out slower as well, so it's not a good tool to use to match out against your opponent. Yukari, on the other hand, all of her normals are fast, but the main kicker is it's small. Her normals are, her 5A and her 2A is very small. So although it comes out faster, it's a small hitbox. And her sweep is much faster and has, not really much fast, I should say. Her sweep has a big hitbox, but it's slow. Just like Yukiko's sweep. It has a big hitbox, but it's slow as well. And it's not a good tool to throw out most of the time. Also with Yukari, Yukari's DP, it's not the best DP in this game, to be honest. Although it comes out a little bit faster, the main kicker is it only attacks her opponent on the ground. She doesn't have a DP that can hit people up in air like Yukiko, for example. Although, you know, her DP is not an anti-air, but it still hits her opponents when, let's say, Yukari goes into jump A. Like that, Yukiko can do that. Yukari can't do that. So Yukari doesn't have any good DP to rely on, to like reliably use to get out of sticky situation. And last but not least, Yukari does not have a good anti-air, or not even good anti-air. She has no anti-air, so she can't use this to punish her opponents when they keep jumping around on her face, all over her face. So with that in mind, this is the main reason why you want to get up in Yukari's face as much as possible, due to the fact that Yukari doesn't have defensive tools. But with that in mind, since Yukari doesn't have defensive tools, she's a very fast and mobile character that makes up with her having terrible defense. So that's why, it's very hard to try to get up in Yukari's face, because she's going to make it hard for you to get up in your face. That's one of the good things about Yukari. She's able to disengage an opponent. She's able to engage into her opponent really easily, and she's able to disengage away from her opponent. That's one of the best pros about Yukari, is she has no problem getting into her opponent's face and getting away from her opponent's face. The only part, that's like the hard part for Yukiko, is trying to, get into her face. But like I said, if you get able to get your fire level to 3 and find the right time to throw out your Phoenix Swirl, if you're able to hit her, that's when you want to throw out your persona out and try to get closer to her, and then continue with your rush down. You want to keep in mind, is Yukari going to DP? Is Yukari going to grab you? Or is she still going to guess your mix-ups? that's what you want to do when you are going up against Yukari. Now, another thing, it's very scary to deal with Yukari when you're in a corner against her. Just as vice versa, it's very scary for Yukari if Yukiko got her into a corner as well. But let me show you why it's dangerous when Yukari got you in a corner. So let's say she does her bread and butter, for example, in the corner. I had to bring a fart. She can silence your persona. And with that in mind, you won't be able to use your DP since Yukiko's DP is, you know, using her persona to, you know, to push him away. So with that in mind, there is multiple mix-ups that Yukari can do. She can either, after she does, hold on. She can go into sweep. She can go into jump A, or she could just simply just go jump to you and do nothing and just grab you. Or if you're able to notice that Yukari's gonna go and do that and just go do an empty jump and then grab you, she can bait out you grabbing by just simply just going back, jump B into 2C, because if you throw this out and Yukari's arrow hits you, it'll be a counter hit, and then she could easily just do, you know, backdash jump B into 2C, and she could do a pretty damaging combo against you. So when you are dealing with that, I'm sorry, you really have to rely on your defense. These are the options that Yukari can do to you, so you want to keep that in mind. You know, as soon as she does her silence, is she going to go jump in and do an overhead?
Jeez,
is she going to go in and do a sweep and do her combos? Or she going to do an empty jump into a grab? Or is she going to do an empty jump and then backdash into jump B and then do 2C? These are things you want to keep in mind. There are ways to avoid, you know, do an empty jump into a grab. You could just simply just do a dash through it, but you want to be careful doing it over and over again, because let's say if she does the silence, you know, do a silence, she could just run up to you and just grab you. So this is a rock paper scissors type of situation, and you have to take a guess on whatever it is. Now with Yukiko, with her wall pressure, I'll show you guys a little tutorial real quick. Saving her bars will definitely help you out in this scenario, because I'll show you guys an example. You can immediately go into like an overhead and low setup, or if your opponent is going to dash through it and avoid that, you can just simply do this. Like, let's say hypothetically she just dashed right through you. Let me show you guys real quick with that. Like that, for example, and you'll be able to get a combo after that. Or you could just simply just go into a grab. You can go into a grab or bait out a grab and just do jump B or jump C. So just like dealing with Yukari's wall pressure is scary, Yukiko's wall pressure is also scary as well. So these are the other things you want to keep in mind when you are, you know, doing your wall pressure combo as well. I don't see a lot of Yukiko mains utilizing this as much. You want to be able to, you need to be able to familiarize with yourself by doing this. You have to. This will help you out a lot, and not just in Yukari matchup, But in any matchup, I promise you, you guys, you want to learn this.
Awaken my power.
Last but not least is covering her, the most annoying super of it all. Magarula.
Jeez,
It is such an annoying super. Unfortunately, there is not much that Yukiko can do to retaliate. But there is one tip that I can show you guys real quick. Typically when Yukari mains, when they're awakening, they usually like to throw out 236A into Magarula. There is a way on dealing with that. With this tip, it's really based on your reaction time, really. So like when Yukari mains just keep doing that, and then they just throw in 236A into Magarula. If you reacted correctly, you can immediately just go into Magarula to punish her. Like that, for example. And ultimately kill her too. You can ultimately kill her too if you have the you know, fire level up to do that. So really it's your reaction time. If you're able to predict it right, you'll be able to do good damaging combo onto her. You can do good damaging combo after that. Now let's say if you are unable to do it and you're forced to take it. You can't use your bar to get out of it, but a good Yukari player will know that, and they could just easily just throw out 5D to make it impossible for you to come out. So let me show you guys an example like this. You would get hit and you will still have to deal with it. So let's say if they do that, you can still use your bar to get out of the situation. So let me show you guys another example. So let's say if Yukari uses Magarula and try to get into the offensive on you. Here's how you deal with it. You can just simply push her away. You can also do that as well, or you can use burst to avoid her mix-up. You can do that as well, but
I'll show you my dance.
A good Yukari player will be able to, you know, guess on whether you're going to use a burst or not. And if you just burst empty-handed, you're going to take a lot of damage, which I'll show you guys real quick. You'll take good damage from that, so you want to be careful of using your bursts, really. And also you want to be careful using your bar as well by pushing them back, because a Yukari main could just do 5A, then jump and block your push back, and you'll take a good amount of damage with that. So let me show you guys real quick. They could do that as well. So really, it's the same thing when you're dealing with Yukari in a corner. It's really rock paper scissors situation. So you really want to take a guess on whether it's a good idea to either push back or dash or use a burst. These are the kind of things that you want to keep in mind. Lastly but not least, the last tip that I want to show you guys is one important one is save your bars and save your bursts. If you do that, you know, you'll be able to finish this match really quickly. And what I mean by that is well, okay, wait, hold on. Only use your bar when you have to quickly increase your fire level to 3. But after that, you want to save your bars for damaging combos, or to use your resources to either push away or to dash away. But really, I suggest you guys to try your best not to use those resources like the push block and the dash away, only when it's necessary. When you go into Awakening and you have like 100 bars or higher, you're able to do good amount of damage if you have your burst or not. So like, you know, for example, see how much damage you can get off of that. And if you have your burst, you could do something like this. Almost close to 7.5k, you guys. You could instantly get rid of Yukari if you save up enough bars and you have bursts. And when you're going against Yukari, you want to do that because dealing with Yukari is, you know, can be frustrating to deal with. So definitely you want to practice doing her burst combos as well. You know, that's one combo you could do like from my mid screen. If you are like close to the wall, you could just do something like this.
Awaken my power.
You could do a combo like that, or let's say if you're able to grab her. You could do that kind of combo if you manage to grab her and do a combo like that. So okay, that's all the tips that I have on going up against Yukari. You know, I might make this a daily, not a daily thing, but I might continue on making, you know, videos like this. Like I have another, you know, a tip that I want to make a video for you guys on going up against Minatsuki's show, because I know a lot of people are, you know, stressing about that matchup as well. But I definitely wanted to at least cover this matchup because I don't want everyone to think that, you know, Yukiko versus Yukari matchup is an impossible matchup for her, because it's not. Trust me. It's still a hard matchup, but it's not impossible. So that's all. That concludes on this video. If you guys like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, because I do make daily videos of me playing fighting games such as this. And I will see you guys later.